Hi and welcome to Stamping with Teresa. Today I'm going to share a little technique with you on how to stamp by adding the Whisper White ink onto our ink block. So I'm going to do this like an old world type card, but we're going to do it with colour and a little bit of white. So let's see what happens. Let's try it. Okay. Without further ado, I'm going to bring you down to my workbench. Excuse my hand, I'm really trying not to have it in the way, but it just happens to be in the way. Okay, hopefully you can see everything. So we're going to work with two cards. You may have seen me do this before, you may not have seen me do this, but this is working with two cards at one time. And I really love this technique. So we're just going to line the two cards up on our Stampin'Up. So I'm just going to put a little magnet up the top there and a little magnet underneath there. Now to start off with, we're going to bring in some different colours here and the white and our stamp. So we're going to probably start off with the soft suede. Now we will need a bit of paper towel with some water on it because you will need to wipe your block off. This one's a little bit stiff. Okay, so I'm going to use the Mary Mallow and I'm just going to tap it onto the block. Now you can use your ink refills if you want to. Oh, I'm using the soft suede, sorry, I do apologise on that. You can use ink refills if you want to. Okay, so that's a cool thing too. Thanks, Bryn. And just shake our Whisper White. Sometimes I just use all ink refills. I don't worry about using my pads when I do this technique. So if you want more of a solid ink colour, you probably will use your ink refill. Oh, I should have checked this beforehand. Okay, now it's coming out. That's good. It's coming out good. Okay, so I'm going to actually just use this over with the aqua painter onto the block. And we're making our ink pad now. So we want some white in there, we want some soft suede in there. Now if you want to add more white into there, you can add more white into there. It's an interesting way of inking up your stamps, but it's a way that I find really beautiful if you want that old world effect. Okay, so that's pretty much our ink pad now for the moment. So we're going to use the beautiful Friendship. Oh, look at that. I found a leaf underneath. Beautiful Friendship stamp set, and as you can see, mine's pretty well dirty, but it's not really. It's I just got to get my block. It's just been used with a darker ink, and the darker inks don't wash off as well, but they don't affect your stamp at all. Okay, so just make sure that your stamp's clean. I've got a little bit of a mark in there or something, so I'm going to get that out before I start stamping. Okay, now you want to come down into your block and you want to come down onto your page. It'll give it a different effect. I probably should have used the ink refill as well with the white, I think, instead of the ink pad. I should have brought in the ink refill because it does give it a very different effect. Just going to move that out of the way. And you'll see it as you keep going around, it just gives it a really different light effect. So I haven't got an ink refill out, So, but that's what I would normally probably do, come in with a little bit darker soft suede ink refill. I'm just going to see if Brenda can grab me one for me. A bit of brown or a soft suede, I don't care which colour. Crumb cake.
That was espresso.
Yeah, that'll do. So, just going to mix in a bit of a darker one in here just so you get the idea. It gives it a little bit more different effect. Sometimes I spray it with water too, so it just depends how you want to do it. Okay, it's entirely up to you. But let's go in with this one. Yeah, it gives you the two nice effects. Yeah, looks like black. That's amazing. Yeah, that's what the effect you want. Okay, you want the effect of the two colours coming through. Beautiful. And I'm just going to move this one up the top here. Oh, watch the magnets, Teresa. Okay, so I'm just going to put them on there. So now we're going to need a garden green or a green of some sort to do it with the white as well. Normally I keep this ink, I don't throw it away like this, but any green to bring in a bit of greenery with it, and you mix it with the white as well. Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Spring. No, either. Thanks. And then we'll just go with a plain ink flower over the top of all this. This does give a very old world effect, and it's really lovely. It's a technique that I love using. Just haven't done it for a little while. I wasn't quite prepared myself for it. Okay, so just make sure you clean your brush off, your Wink Stella Aqua Painter, which we've got new ones now, but sorry I haven't got the new one yet, so I'm still using my Aqua Painter. So we're just going to mix our palette up again for our leaves. And we want that light dark effect. We do want that into our leaves. Okay, so we've got leaves here. They've got 3 little leaves, so I'm going to grab that out. I'm just going to grab my block and place that on top, and then just come in and add the leaves, and you'll see you'll get dark and light leaves. It's too watery, just stamp it off on your block a little bit before you come in and stamp it onto your card. Now I'm just randomly doing this. I haven't worked out exactly where I'm going to put my flowers yet or anything like that, but you can see that it is a random type artwork. And each side's going to be a little bit different anyhow. But I love the fact that you can stamp up 2 cards at the same time using the one stamp set. And it just saves a lot of time getting it all out again later. So we're just going to bring the magnet off a little bit up there. And just pop in as many leaves as you want. And you can sort of see it's very different on both sides, which is really, really good. Sorry, everyone. Okay, now we're going to come down with the Merry Merlot, and we're going to use that straight with our ink, because there's sort of white effect already on our paper here that's not dry yet. Just remember it's not dry, so just remember not to put your hands into it. Remember to clean your blocks off, and you can clean them properly on your chamois after, but it just helps with the white not to get all through the chamois. Okay, so we're going to come down with this one. And I'm going to put our stamp on here. This is the big flower one. I love this rosy one, it's really lovely. Okay. So we're just going to pop that on here. I just put my finger right into the ink. Okay, so you can sort of work out where you're going to go with this. I'm going to take the magnet off for a minute because I want it to come in around the bottom here of these two here. Just hold them a little bit. Okay, you can see it's very old world, it's going to blend in. You will want to wipe this each time because it will pick up the white and you won't want to do it. Now, if you really want a darker effect, this is where your Stampin'Up is fantastic, okay? So we will put a little bit of magnet there and a little bit of magnet up there, and we will line that back up over the top of that. Okay, and the good thing about the Stampin'Up is that you can come down 2 or 3 times, and you might want to do that on this, but just be mindful to keep wiping this top one because it will have white in it because the white hasn't dried yet. Okay, so our white ink is still very wet on our card down there. So you can sort of see we're getting more of an image happening here. I like it quite that light. So the next one I might come up, I'm going to clean it first. Yep. And I do usually use my chamois all the time, but because this has got a lot of white ink on it, I'm just going with paper towel at the moment, and then I'll give it a good clean with the chamois. So we're going to come in with this one right in here. We're going to pick it up, and once again we're going to wipe it because it's picked up some white ink when I've laid it down. It gives a very different type of old style card. Okay, so we come down here, press, and come down again. And press, and this time just give it a bit of a rub down because we want it to actually take to all of it. Okay, so I'm going to add my aqua painter. I'm just going to add a little bit of water to my one here to just give it a bit of a clean because it's picking up something. So I'm just adding some water from the aqua painter to give it a bit of a clean off. I love the aqua painters for that. If you need water, it's always on hand. It's perfect. Okay, so let's try that again and see if it will come down. So just give it a little bit of a rub. It's still not quite working in that corner, is it? I think I might have to move my magnet. Sometimes I like to have the silicone mat underneath it. Just gives it that little bit more padding, and I might have to even do that. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring my silicone mat in underneath because it's just not high enough up for what I want. Okay, now you're going to say to me, okay, how are you going to line that up, Teresa? Go on, you can say it. I'm just going to clean the stamp and I'm going to put my magnet back on to hold it. Then I'm going to take it off and we're going to line it up again. Okay, so once you've got it pretty well lined up to where you want it, you can bring your lid down and we can do it again. Okay. Yeah, you can feel the difference in pressing it at this time. It's a little bit different when you press onto it. So, yeah, as you can see, it's starting to take now. So if you want it lighter, you can go lighter. But we're going to actually add this on here, and then we're going to, oh, sorry everyone, we're going to add a little bit of the white. So we're going to clean our brush, aqua painter brush. Okay, and we're going to add a little bit of white to our aqua painter brush. Okay, and now we're going to come in and bring this over the top of the rose here. And you can see you get that beautiful light. Look how you get that beautiful light and dark images happening around there. It's just beautiful. I love the effect you can get because with the Stampin'Up you can do 5 or 6 coats and then come back over with some white and things like that. Say if you want this little bit in here a little bit lighter, then you can just come in with your white in these areas that you want, and you can come down with that with the white. Okay, so you could come in and you see how that's changed straight away. It's just brought it in very different, very light. Okay, so let's do a bit on the other side, the same sort of effect, because we want a little bit of red, but we'll go with the smaller flowers this time. Okay, so we're just going to go with the little roses this time, so that we've got a couple of like colour coming out through there. Line it up where you want it on your work, and then come down with your Stampin'Up. I do think having the silicone mat underneath does help. It just gives it a little bit more padding. And I'm just going to move it across a little bit. I'm just going to realign this. Excuse me, everyone. Well, I'll just fix this up because we want it in the middle of the silicone mat, so we don't have an edge. Okay, so we'll just put our magnet on there and on there, and we'll just reline this up, back up. Okay, beautiful. But you can get so many different colours, and it looks like painting, like a painting more so than inking, which is really great. Okay, I don't mind that. I might go one more time. Clean my stamp. I forgot to do that a minute ago. You need to do that. Just come down one more time. Yep, beautiful. I'm happy with that. Okay, so then you can add wherever you want more flowers. You can add some more flowers if you want them. So if you want to touch a red up around this area, or should I say Mary Merlot. We'll pop that in up here and come down. It's a different way of inking and painting. It just gives you a different technique. Okay, it's a really different technique of doing this. but it's one that I have done for many years and love, and it's really up to the individual what they really like and whether they want to add some more. Might just add one up on that side there. Okay, just to get a little bit of colour into that top bit there. Yep, that's all I want. Okay. So now this is wet, so you will need to dry, but you can sort of see how beautiful that makes the card and how beautiful that's going to look on your card. And you can stamp words and everything out. It's wet, so I can't add it onto anything at the moment, but I will just line it up onto a card. You can sort of see the effect that you get. You get this beautiful old world painting type effect. You can bring in some words and ribbons and embellishments if you want to, but my main object today was to show you how to paint from the block and on the Stampin'Up to get that beautiful old world painting look with using your inks, and how you can do 2 cards at the one time, which is a bonus. And you can sort of see how beautiful that has come up. It's really bringing in the different colours and bringing in the white with it. You can come in with a bit more white if you wanted to. You could even paint some white on it if you wanted to over the top of that. You can even bring your Wink Stella pen in over the top of it. But at the moment, we just need to let all these little babies dry. So we'll let them dry off. And you can use your heat tool and dry it all off, but I just like to let it dry natural because you get that little bit more race of the ink and that. So we'll let them dry off, and then I will come back later on and do a second video and show you how to finish it off. So I hope you enjoyed that today, and yeah, we'll come back and do a second take, putting it all together. Thanks very much, and thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.